Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Segerblom joins us. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
It's the most wonderful time to win during the $125,000 Holiday Cash Frenzy at Tamarack Casino. Every Saturday, unwrap thousands in cash and free play. Don't miss the grand finale December 27th. We're gifting $20,000 in cash guaranteed. 'Tis the season for good times at Tamarack Casino.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always delighted to welcome back to the program Segerblom. He is the chair of the Clark County Commission. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Pleasure to be back.
So let's talk about these indictments that came out of New York with the accusations of mafia involvement in gaming, not only around the country, but specifically in Las Vegas as regards poker. What were your thoughts when those indictments came out?
Well, as I said, it's sad. Hopefully, it's a very small issue. It doesn't get bigger, but that's why we had legalized gambling here, and we knew how to regulate that stuff. So the fact that they had these private games and then this technology is pretty scary.
Right, and we should point out that this was not in casinos. These were private games that the mafia was arranging that had shills in there who were famous sports figures, and but the technology was what was amazing to me. Shuffle machines for the poker cards that they could tell, who was going to get what hands. Special glasses and contact lenses so they could read the backs of cards to know. I mean, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, again, that's where technology goes, but hopefully that's where we, being the gold standard for gaming, we're ahead of that stuff. We understand it, and we're looking for it all the time.
Have you talked to anybody from Gaming Control of the Commission?
I haven't. When I first came back here, the big thing was card counters, and they had computers where they would use their toes to count the cards and things like that. And that was revolutionary back in the 80s, but this is obviously a whole new world.
I talked to some people in law enforcement. They told me that this investigation had been going on for 4 years.
Wow. Well, hopefully they give money back to some of these people that they knew were getting scammed.
Yeah, and the odds of that happening. But, from your perspective, because, even though Howard Hughes and the whole corporation thing changed the face of Las Vegas away from the mafia to corporations, but he was being robbed blind by the mafia as well. I mean, they were still taking money out the door. I mean, in your conversations with law enforcement, Does the mafia, to your knowledge, still operate in Las Vegas? It's still an open city in other things apart from casinos?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure they're somewhere out there, but the truth is, I think as far as inside the casinos, there's no more spilatros. There's no more
Right.
of the things like that. So I think we're pretty well regulated. And honestly, gaming is such a small part of it. Now the slot machines. I mean, who knows what goes on in those things? But arguably, or hopefully, we monitor that too.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's been any discussion of that coming out. The sheriff, Kevin McMahill, is up for re-election. It's amazing that 4 years has blown by so quickly. Your thoughts on his tenure and his re-election chances?
I think he's a shoo-in. I'm not even sure if he'll have a credible opponent, so he'll probably win in the June primary. But honestly, he's been really good to work with. I think he's been focused a lot on the officer health, their safety, and as a commissioner, I work closely with the Metro area commands as never before. So I mean, he's allowed us to work together, and together, with my staff and my enforcement officers and my teams working with Metro, we can accomplish a lot of what I have to accomplish. So I'm super supportive.
Let's talk about what's going on the Strip. It's fascinating to see the Hard Rock Tower, which will be the guitar and hotel space, coming out of the ground. But there was a comment recently that there probably won't be any new hotels built on the Strip for quite a long time. Is that your thought?
Well, we'll have to see. We're kind of in between stage right now. We don't know whether we're going to do one of those classic Las Vegas downturns. It certainly could happen because of the numbers going down, but we'll have to see. But we in my district alone, we've had some incredible building in the last 4 or 5 years. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a leveling off till we get back on track and see what happens, particularly when the Hard Rock opens back up, because they have like 4,000 rooms. So that may kind of discourage everybody. I know the Fertitta had that new hotel that he's canceled or at least put on hold. There's some other things going on. But then we're talking about having ballets around the baseball stadium, so that will be a new hotel.
Okay, so when you're talking about Fertitta, you're talking about Tillman Fertitta.
Right.
Now that was more that he didn't want to compete with himself because he owns the largest share, private share of Wynn.
That's what he articulated. I don't doubt it. But anyway, that was one that was planned and a lot of work had gone into it. So we were expecting that, and that's obviously on hold for now.
All right, so let's talk about this alleged downturn. Now, obviously, Canadian tourism, Mexican tourism is down. The international tourism is down. But we had such an incredible year last year in Las Vegas that the comparisons would be incredibly difficult to beat. So isn't this really just moving back to more of a natural rhythm for the Las Vegas Strip? And, we saw a lot of online things, talking about expensive water and all this other stuff. But has the convention authority mitigated through their members a lot of this?
Truthfully, we just don't know. We're still kind of in that process to identify it. The one thing I know that at least has been told to me is the numbers coming out of Los Angeles are down. And a lot of that's the Latino community and just the fear of maybe leaving California and crossing the state line, not knowing what's going to be here, or just in general, just not wanting to leave their houses or their neighborhoods. But I've been told that percentage is way down, and that definitely is reflected in the fact that we have probably 10% less tourism.
We had an interesting conversation the other day with Mackenzie Warren Kay, the attorney, who was talking about, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's time to look at what's the reality of these immigration restrictions, where now you're seeing gardeners, nannies, others that are personal friends and family of people who live here who are now in fear. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I pray that Trump does, because it is so terrifying. Right now in Nevada or anywhere in the country, if you're walking down the street, you're brown and you have an accent, according to the courts, that's probable cause to be arrested. And these guys are running around with masks on, you don't know who they are, unmarked cars, stop and grab somebody. We don't know what it is, but that's obviously puts fear in the hearts of my constituents. And most of my constituents, there's 500,000 people that have ties to Mexico just in Clark County. A lot of those people most of them are citizens probably, but the truth is they have a lot of family members. So there's lots of people involved in this process that are afraid to go out of the house or drive down the road and you get stopped for something. Next thing you know, your ICE is being called. So it's just, and there's no reason. That's the lifeblood. They're the workers. They're what make our community go. There's our economy go. So it's so insane. It's hard to even understand.
Do you think that Las Vegas is being hit with this as heavily as other areas of the country?
Not as far as ICE goes yet. But, I think they were definitely focusing on California, Illinois, maybe Boston.
Do you think that's part of the Trump connection to Las Vegas, where he's partners with Phil Ruffin in the Trump Hotel?
I'm hoping that Ruffin picked up the phone and said, do not do that in Las Vegas. If we have ICE raids on the Strip or we have the National Guard coming in here, that's going to kill us. That's the last thing we want the world to see. So I'm hoping that everybody on the Strip is calling the D.C. and saying, do not do that. But, they have $50 million or $50 billion, and they're in the process of hiring up. And I know we got a bunch of people in from Yuma because the border has been slow. So they're there. So far, they haven't been active. They haven't gone to the Home Depots and to the swap meets and things. But boy, if they do, watch out, because this is the city where it will go worldwide if these things start to look like California, and that's going to kill us.
You mentioned Yuma being slow on the border. So for so many years in the immigration debate, it was that, we need to have comprehensive immigration reform. And I always felt that that was the wrong way to go, because anything can blow up in the Congress on any issue, and immigration was such a hot button issue. But the Trump administration has effectively shut down the border, at least in people's perception, if not reality. Where is Congress on the other side figuring out how we get legalized immigration? Workers can come here, workers can go back home. It doesn't necessarily have to be citizenship. They're not coming here to be citizens, they're coming here for work. And we need those workers. We need them in Las Vegas, in hospitals, in nursing homes, in construction, in service industries, in agriculture. We need all of these people. Why are people in Nevada not screaming at our congressional delegation saying, you take the lead, somebody has to?
Well, honestly, they're ready to take the lead.
But so why aren't they doing it?
Because Trump has basically told the Republicans, don't talk about it. And so
it
takes two to tango.
We have 5 out of 6 members of a delegation that are Democrats.
Right, but they don't control either House or the Senate. And so if Trump tells the Republicans, no way, and that's really what's happened. And then Steve Miller's in charge of this whole operation of trying to criminalize everybody and go after them and deport them. I mean, it's just terrifying. But honestly, it is the Democrats that are willing to come to the table. It's really the Republicans are just, and coming from Trump down, basically said, we're not talking.
Okay, you and I have been friends a long time. And I want to say at this point that having watched, it was my learning experience of how bills get passed in Congress, especially delicate bills like immigration, watching the whole immigration reform deal from 77 through 86. Somebody has to stand up. And at this point, well, Reagan did at the end, but I mean, it wasn't him at the beginning. It started with, members of Congress on both sides of, or in both houses. And, why is it not possible? And you can pick any state, but I mean, I'll pick on our state and say, where's Catherine Cortez Masto? She has some seniority now in the Senate. Why is she not standing up and saying, we need to reform immigration?
I think she would stand up there. She'd stand on her head. She would do anything. She'd go anywhere. I mean, you bring her in here, she would scream, we need that. We all agree we need it. There's only one person that says we don't need it, and that's Steve Miller, talking through Trump. But
okay, so are you disconnecting Congress from its responsibility? 3 equal branches of government.
Congress has abdicated everything. They're not doing anything. Whatever Trump wants, he wants to kill people. He wants to do anything. They're basically sitting back and saying, "Oh, that's fine with us." It's just insane.
That's the Republicans perhaps saying it's fine with us.
But Democrats, we can stand up until we're blue in the face. It doesn't make any difference. Right now, we're just stuck in this treadmill where They're just basically saying we don't want to play, and so we can't sit behind the scenes. But I guarantee you, when Catherine sits down with her Republican colleagues, they're all saying, "This is crazy. We need these people. We love these people. Let's get them. They're working. They're a backbone. Let's figure out a process to legalize them, let them work, have a process to citizenship. If it takes 5 years, it takes 10 years, something. But everybody agrees. It's just coming from the top. We can't talk about it.
It just seems to me that it has to start somewhere. And
let's start right now. Please, let's realize that this economy, particularly in Las Vegas, we need immigration. We need the immigrants. They are our backbone. They're workers. They do it all. Let's let them come out of the closet, show who they are, actively work, pay their taxes, and provide.
And they do that.
Right. They have driver's licenses. And then let them get a path to citizenship. But don't demonize them and tell them, if you have an accent and you're walking down the street, we can show up to drive by, grab you with somebody with a mask on, pull you into jail, and deport you. It's just it's so insane. They are not a problem. They are the solution.
Okay, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I will say that I don't think that citizenship, because it's so complex.
Well, even
and
we don't want to talk about citizenship. Let's just talk about status where you don't have to be terrified.
Yeah, we're on the same page. The other part, and I do want to say this on the other side, which is, if immigration officers, ICE officers are wearing masks, it's because of their own safety and the safety of their families, that they don't want to be identified and pursued. And I can't say that I blame them on that score. I mean, I don't think that if you're doing your job, which is what you've sworn to do, that you should be in danger or your family should be in danger because you're doing that. I know you probably don't agree with me on that, but I just want to throw that out there. Let's take a break, come back, and we'll see if we can get animated here after this timeout.
This holiday season, say aloha to winning big with the Carson Valley Inn's $250,000 Hawaiian holiday giveaways. Unwrap the fun with $500 Southwest gift cards and mini vacations every Saturday. And $60,000 in grand prize Hawaiian vacations or cash. The islands are calling, only at the Carson Valley Inn.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Tick Segerblom. He is the chair of the Clark County Commission. Brightline, I think we're all in favor of the train. It's been coming forever, and it was looking like it was really going to happen. And all of a sudden, the price jumps by billions of dollars with no explanation, looking for another government loan. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as you said, we've been waiting on this thing forever. There's reiterations of it back as far as I can remember. So honestly, when the train runs, I'll believe it, because it's such a difficult thing financially to both pay for and then justify how much is going to people are going to have to pay to ride the thing. I heard something about $250 one way. I mean, and then you go from Fontana or Cucamonga or something. I mean, who's going to drive from Orange County to Cucamonga to get on a train and pay $250 to come to Las Vegas? I mean, it'd be great, but...
Okay, all right. So now we're going to debate this, all right? So Tony Marnell, who built the Rio and had constructed half the hotels on the Las Vegas Strip, discovered when he got his player's card at the Rio that the majority of players' cards were coming from the Inland Empire. And so it's not that far to go from the Inland Empire to Victorville, which is where the initial jumping off point was for the train, and bring folks to Las Vegas. So I think that concept based on his player's card was why he got involved at the very beginning of this to make this train work, and has, you know, he and Anthony Marnell III have both been totally involved in this all the way. Yes, you're right. I'd heard $200 for a ticket one way, maybe $250 now. But the thing that was kind of shocking was that after they got all these approvals, all these loans, all this money raised, that suddenly the price sounded like it was almost doubled, and without any explanation, looking for more government loans. That was the part that confused me. Can you put any light onto this?
I've not been briefed on that. I just read about it, so I have no explanation. But when you think about it, it's to put something right down the middle of the freeway. All those overpasses would have to be redone. I mean, it's a huge undertaking. I mean, I would love to do it. It'd be great jobs. At the end of the day, we'd have a great mass transit system. So I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't know if it pencils out. And ultimately, Vegas has a lot of great ideas, but do they pencil out? Like our airport down in California, does that really pencil out for us?
Okay, all right. You brought up another really big issue, but let's finish up with Brightline. So they've got 100 acres that they're developing around Warm Springs to build not just the train station, but a whole shopping entertainment experience around.
And I think really they're more land developers than they are railroad. They build a railroad, but then they make their money on the train station in that area.
Right, but that construction is still going on, or the beginnings of that construction.
Yeah, just started. I read about that, and they're starting to impact the roads and stuff.
So it sounds like they are moving forward, even though they're asking for this large amount of money. But is the commission not going to insist that they come before them and explain why the cost has gone up so much?
Well, honestly, it's not our issue. I mean, we're beneficiaries, but it doesn't impact us at all. We didn't put any money into it. We don't have to approve anything. Because it's the federal right of way and everything, so it's kind of out of our hands. I mean, so but you could bring up a good point. So maybe I should ask them to brief us and publicly try to figure out what's going on. But sometimes, what you read in the paper, they need to kind of get a good explanation before they come before us.
Yeah, well, you can't ask for an extra $9 billion and not explain. Let's take another quick break. We'll be right back.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Tick Segerblom. He's the chair of the Clark County Commission. I wasn't going to go there, but you brought up the Ivanpah Airport. You've got a new head of the airport, the deputy to Rosemary Vasiliadis, James, who was on this program the last time we were taping in Las Vegas. It's got to move ahead. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You're putting between $3 and $4 billion to just refurbish the airport that's currently here at Harry Reid, but you're going to need to expand.
Well, I think that process has started, but until they get a lands bill through Congress and they get some of these environmental things worked out.
Do they? No, hang on. They don't need a lands bill for this, do they?
Well, maybe not for the airport, but as far as the land going to there, which the whole point of this
What
is
about the 17, okay, let me be specific. The 17,000 acres that was for development around the airport, is that not already?
I don't know what's been approved and hasn't been, but it's really more the land around I-15 going down there.
Okay, all right. So, because my understanding is that the 17,000 plus the 6,000 for the airport is already approved. But now they're doing all the the surveys to make sure.
Right, and then who's going to pay to put the water line down there? Who's going to pay to put the sewer line back up here? I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars. So I mean, it's going to happen probably, and it's going to, but the process is going to be a slow one. Whereas our airport right now is in desperate need. Terminal 1 is a disaster. So this new guy has been talking to Mr. Chrisley. He's been talking about it, and I think we're going to have a public briefing, talk about briefings in December to talk about where we go on refurbishing Terminal 1, because that needs to happen, and let's make that the immediate goal the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, so January then you come back and we'll talk about the briefing.
All right, and I won't be chair then, so hopefully you'll still invite me.
I will always invite you. Thank you so much for doing this as always, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. You can also download the podcasts from your favorite podcast app. We'll see you on the next broadcast.